let's just dive in and get this show on the road. And here we are. So I'm Cynthia Garcia. I'm with the Fairfield Suisun Rotary Club. And I'm also this year's District 5160 social media chair. And our topic today is Grow Your Facebook Impact, How to Create and Track Growth. And the district currently uses two different platforms. We use Facebook and Instagram, who are kissing cousins, owned by the same company. And today we're just going to talk about Facebook. And I want to talk about what we've been doing as the district, as I said, to move the needle. What are we doing differently this year compared to what the district has done in the past? And what is the impact that we're seeing? So one thing that was different, in the past, we had a public image committee, and everyone, even though you might have had a specific task that you were interested in, but we were kind of generalists. And this year, DG Suzanne Bragdon, who's joined our group, asked that I specifically be the social media chair to provide leadership around this issue. And so I did that, and I created a social media team. You met Vera. She's a member of that team, to bring other resources specifically geared towards working on district level social media. We created a written strategy that had goals attached to it about who we wanted to talk to, what we wanted to accomplish, what were our goals, what were our platforms, our methods. And then we brought on board new tools for us to do this. So we initially we got the free Canva account. Canva is like a graphic design online website that allows you to create posters, social media posts, videos, and calendar all your social media posts. So you can work like one afternoon, create a bunch of posts, calendar them, and then they'll hit, whenever it is that whatever date and time you schedule them for. And then we started repurposing your content created by clubs, created by Rotary International, the Zone, any partners, and use that to populate our social media pages. And we started to use Facebook's Meta Business Suite and their Facebook Insights to measure our progress. So we'd never done that before. We would just post whenever a person would say, this should be on the district page. So we became much more targeted and strategic about what we were doing. And then we started looking at the impact all these things had. So next I'm going to show you some slides from Facebook Insights that you could look at yourself on your club's Facebook page. And so we looked at reach, and specifically organic reach, which is we didn't pay for ads. So if you don't pay for something on social media, it's considered organic, like when things go viral, So what we did is I like to look at things kind of like a benchmark. So instead of looking at like weekly stats, which could make you crazy because they can go up and down and up and down. And one moment you think I'm down 37%, but then the next week you're up 200%. So to smooth that out, I like to look at what has happened in the last 90 days and what has happened in the previous 90 days. And so what we see, I got this data last night. So in terms of our post reach, which is the number of people who see your content, we're up 130%. So we went from, that looks like what, 2,500 to 5,700 by changing our strategy. So you see, we're having a pretty strong impact. And you also see which posts got the most reach. So images and videos are really what's calling people to come to our social media pages. Engagement, that's when people get involved with your posts, with your page. So this is the number of, I put likes, but it's anything. They might put a heart, a thumbs up, a crying face, an angry face, whatever, however they've engaged with your post. if they've commented or shared your post. So you can see in the last 90 days, and we started this program basically the end of June, we got running. So our engagement has gone up nearly 300%. It's like tripled just by, you know, being a little bit more strategic and directing specific resources, human and technological. And again, videos, images are what people are liking. Another way to look at how you're doing is to see what are your popular posts. And Steve Lack's beer post in the last, when August 29th, everyone loved the beer post. And he didn't even put a comment on there. There's no text added to it. It was just posting about a beer event. And I want you to notice that when it's our original content, you could see here that we can boost the post. But when we share someone else's content, like the RI content we shared right under, you cannot boost it. It's not your post. And we'll talk about boosting posts and ads a little bit later. This is when you pay to get your post seen by more people. And so for us, one thing we've noticed is that our most popular post, both in reach and in reaction, was a post from the awards assembly that happened up north. And it was the one on the category of youth when we announced the winners. And what we'd done is we had tagged all the clubs that the winners are members of. And so it let them know that we were acknowledging their person. And then it got viewed by so many more people. If you notice, that post reached 4 times more people than our median post and had over 1,000% more reaction. So if you were looking to boost a post and this was your club, this would have been a really good post for you to put some money on, so it would reach more people. Another post that got a lot of comments was, you know, why did you join your Rotary club? A lot of people commented on that one. So you need to be strategic about what you're posting, and then, you know, seeking to create engagement and what you spend money to advertise. You can also compare yourself against other clubs, or if this is your business, you can compare yourself against your competitors. Facebook has a benchmark thing where you could pick who you want to compare yourself to. So we're 3rd here on the list. You can see we're blued out here. And I sorted this list by who has the most page likes. So Sacramento has the most page likes. You could see the changes, you know, how many likes. So we have 40 new likes, where, look at this, San Francisco has 73, but you could see that we have been publishing more than all of them, almost combined, really. So we've been publishing a lot in order to create engagement and increase our reach. And then the last analytics page I'm going to show you is about audience. You can look at who is on your space, who's there, who's looking at you, who's communicating with you. And so we have 1,581 people who, or, you know, pages that have liked us. We just started Instagram, so we only have 58 followers. We've got nearly a 50-50 split on gender. We skew older, and that might just be because Rotarians skew older. So this tells me, you know, gosh, we really want to look at this 35 to 54 age group, and, you know, we need to work on this group. It also tells us where people are from. This post actually goes, or this analytic goes much longer, but I didn't want this to be unreadable. But the top cities, basically they're all cities within our district, which tells us we're doing our job, because our target market is Rotarians in District 5160. We're serving the clubs. That's who our audience is. And so the people who are looking at us are the clubs. But you know, it'd be great if we got our competitors and other folks looking at us, an international audience. So if we wanted to increase our reach, because as Val and I were talking about this morning, organic growth has slowed down because of the way Facebook has changed its business operations. They're really encouraging you to spend money by putting, having their algorithms do more for you when you buy ads or boost posts. So what does this mean? So you can boost a post or you could buy an ad. They both appear in a person's feed, but you'll notice on Facebook, you sometimes see sponsored content, and that's an ad. So a boost is a popular post that you want to reach a wider audience. Actually, you could boost any post, but you'll be more likely to see the growth you want if you post something that's already getting traction. And the purpose is to like build your brand, reach out to your fan base. The ad is different, and I've done both for my Rotary Club. You can put in goals, like marketing goals, into your ad as you build it in Facebook. Facebook, the ads are more tangible. Like, are you trying to sell a ticket? Are you trying to get someone to show up for a project? It has more of a call to action versus just raising awareness. And it provides more analytics than a boosted post. And you have more formatting options when you do an ad. Facebook has templates. You can put call to action buttons. They ask you, do you want, what do you want to happen? You can tell them, this is what I want to happen, and it'll make suggestions to you. So you don't have to put a whole lot of money here. We've put as low as $10, as much as, I think, $500. We had a sponsor for advertising once for our brew bash, and they gave us a $500 budget. And we were able to, go beyond our geography, and you could test ads. That's another benefit of this. We created an ad, and I saw that it didn't get very much traction. And so I immediately pulled that ad, tweaked it, different image, went back out again, and the ad did better. So you could stop on a dime, switch direction. You couldn't do that if you created like a paper ad campaign and you were running ads in the newspaper. So you could see if you're having success. You could stop a campaign, you could test a campaign, and it's really affordable. You could play around, practice, put in $10, put in $5. You could pick a geography, interests, like for your golf tournament, you can put golf tournament as keywords. But because Facebook is really turning to, make you spend money, we do recommend that you create a small budget and you play around with that. Another thing I want you guys to consider is putting the social in social media. I think everyone looks at this as, I'm going to tell my story. I'm putting myself out there. I'm broadcasting information about myself or my club or whatever. And that's not rewarded as much as if you are engaging with other pages too. So be social in social media. Tell stories in your posts. Don't just tell, like, we have an event, come to it. Why is your event important? Tell a story there. And think of this, you're doing content marketing. So this is a long-term conversation you're having with your audience, your fan base. Live your brand. Our brand, Rotary, we're ethical, competent, we're leaders, expert, trustworthy. You have to be authentic. So communicate as your club in alignment with the Rotary brand. And think about who you're communicating with as a community or a culture. it's an audience, but don't think I'm talking to a prospective member and all your communication is about this person, because a prospective member, that's a period in time for a person, and you're trying to build a long-term relationship with whoever it is that is on your page and create an emotional connection with them. But you be authentic, show personality, but also get out there. Don't just stay on your page as a club or company or individual. You have to like other pages. Go to every other club in this district as your club and like their page, like the district page, like the RI page. Facebook and other social platforms reward that behavior. So you can't just hoard all the likes to yourself. You've got to like others. And then you need to comment. Go to, the lobster feed for Fairfield Suisun Twilight Club as your club and say, oh my gosh, I love this idea. We do a crab feed, get that engagement back and forth. So you're not just receiving, you've got to give. Social media platforms will reward that behavior. So remember, search for 5160 on Facebook and like the district page, because the district has liked your page. Like your partners. If you work with the Red Cross, if you work with your local food bank, like their page, comment. They post something about how they had a fundraiser and you guys were a sponsor. Comment, we love your organization. You do so much for the community. We are a proud sponsor of this event or this organization. And then what you've done is now their audience has seen you, know what you stand for, know your personality, and are more likely to click over and see. So be social, not just on the receiving end, but you have to get yourself out there as well. Post strategies, and this is assuming that, you have the time, you build a committee, but if you can post multiple times a day, that's awesome. And we're going to tell you to repost others' popular posts. The district our social media is in service to you guys. Feel free to share our posts. And you don't even have to just share our posts. If you want to have it as your own, download the image, download or copy the post text and post it as your club. We've created this for your use because we know creating content is hard. It's time consuming. Steal our content. Share others' content that align with Rotary values. One thing that I learned is that Facebook doesn't like you to take people off their platform. So often if you put a link in your actual post, they won't let it, get the same amount of sharing. So Facebook expert said, make your post and then put a link to your ticket site or something in the comments. I thought that was interesting. So I thought I would share that because I never heard that before. And that kind of makes sense, that a social media platform doesn't want to send you to another platform. Also, one of the most popular types of posts on Facebook is a text-based post with a colorful background. So I did a little sample here. Tell me you're a Rotarian without telling me you're a Rotarian. And then your post comment could say, put in the comments, and then here's an example. In your post, always have a call to action. What do you want the person to do? Do you want them to share an anecdote, post a picture, buy a ticket, whatever it is, say that there. Because so many times we say, we're having a fundraiser. Okay, well, what do you want this person to do? Are you looking for a sponsor? Do you want to buy a ticket? What tell this person to do something. And then have someone respond promptly to comments and to encourage comments. Okay. Next, use video. I know a lot of folks are uncomfortable with this. And so I just say practice. Because as you saw from our analytics, what was the most popular was video. And this is not just on our page. This is globally. The world is heading to video. So practice. Use your phone. Take some video at an event. Facebook likes you to post natively on Facebook. What this means is you upload your video the way you would upload a picture to Facebook itself. If you link to YouTube, it doesn't like it as much. And so their algorithm will not reward that behavior as much as if you post directly uploaded video to Facebook. But what they really like is a Facebook Live. I tend to do them at events. You could do them like for news. Like we had a windstorm at our pumpkin festival, and that day it was canceled. And so I did a Facebook Live saying, look at how all the tents were destroyed. We're not going to be up today. We'll see you next weekend. And it's not actually live. You film it. You can look at it. If you hate it, you can delete it. But if you like it, you can set the go button. So it's a stream, but it's a delayed stream. Facebook likes when you use Reels. Those are those videos that are shot in a portrait format. You can put music to them. You can do all kinds of filters. Keep them brief, but also keep them authentic. Sometimes you might want to have like if not a script, just bullet points of things you want to say. But the videos that get a lot of traction are authentic, they're informal, they're intimate, raw, emotional. So keep it real. And there's so many subjects you can do on videos. You can demonstrate something. I thought, what would be a great opportunity was the Shasta Club making all those pies. We saw that great picture of that table full of pies. If they would have done like a demonstration of how they made all those hundreds of pies, or they did a behind the scenes of them setting up for the event, saying, look at this, it's coming, get ready. Again, like news, like I mentioned, the windstorm. But there's so many opportunities to use video. And if you see an opportunity to use video, go for it. And you can even edit video on your phone the way you can edit a picture, just by like cropping the ends. Maybe you have weird stuff at the beginning and the end. It's actually really easy to do. Just try it. You'll be surprised. Some other tips, use hashtags when you create your post, put them at the end. You can see we have the Power of Rotary, TRF for the Rotary Foundation, District 5160. This allows your post to be indexed. So if someone is searching for something like the Rotary Foundation, they could hashtag, in the little magnifying glass icon, they could put TRF, and your post will show up. Tag people in organizations, because then you show up in their space and their people will see you. So this gets more eyes on your post. And so it's not so much an echo chamber of just you and your clubs. I like to tie our posts, the text, to larger Rotary initiatives. So like this one, it was the International Day of Charity. Well, what initiative can we tie that to? Well, the Rotary Foundation. If we're talking about it's membership month, then we talk about it's a Rotary theme. So it's part education about Rotary, but it's also about the actual meat of what the post is about. And keep your eye out for old logos and branding. If you see that, every year I post this thing on Easter, at Easter time, of a bunny, and it's the logo from 10 years ago. Swap it out. Find a new image of the Easter bunny with the current logo, which is the one you see down here, where we've used a template to make it personalized to District 5160. Comment, like, and share district and club posts. And also, I go back and I comment on my club's post, even though I'm the one who posted it. I come in as myself and I comment. So I'll go to the district page, I'll create a post, and then I'll come in as Fairfield Suisun Rotary Club and I'll like and comment, and I'll come in as Cynthia Garcia and I'll like and comment to just try to build some activity on a post. And then it shows up, for for me, you know, people could see, oh, Cynthia commented on that post. And if you're thinking about what should I post, I don't really post to Facebook. I'm about to post to Facebook. What might I post? Here are some ideas. Repost from clubs, district, zone, RI. You could do an event page. If you have an event, you could actually create a page where you can sell tickets. You could put updates. I know the Chico Club, I believe, Val, if this is correct, has the president's video addresses. They use video a lot at Chico. If you're doing a project, if you want to just talk about the impact your club has on the community, educating people about Rotary, our theme months, if you have a social, you could put posts and surveys. The one thing I like about posts, surveys, questions, by their very nature, they're forcing engagement. You're asking a question and people respond. Tell them to respond in the comments. You can give advice, quotes, lists. People love lists. Top 3 this, top 4 reasons why you should, top 10 Rotary whatevers. And also people love behind the scenes. They like being an insider. Show people, you know, what's going on, and also do lives. So for us at the district, we took these ideas of what can we post and we formalized it. So this is just a snippet of a much larger document. So like, finish this sentence. I joined Rotary because is your picture post. And then you could put a comment attached to this. The text could be, you know, why did you join Rotary? For business, personal reasons, to do service? Put in the comments below why you joined your club. Hashtag, you know, Fairfield Suisun Rotary Club. Hashtag, you belong here. Hashtag, you know, Rotary 5160. I love Rotary because, again, these are forcing people to interact with you. Represent, what club are you in? Or after we defeat polio, what should RI's next project be? Caption this picture. I love these. This can be really silly. If you've got a picture of the district governor doing, you know, making a weird face, caption this picture, and then people can put humorous comments about what they think that DG Suzanne is saying or doing. So be strategic. Think about the resources you could dedicate to this in terms of human resources. Is this you? Can you build a team? How much time can you put to this? Because this job can be as big or as small as you want. But I think formalizing what you want to do, what you want to accomplish, you know, do you want to double the number of people who like your page? By having a goal to work towards, you can, I think, actually move the needle, as we've seen that we've done at the district level. So this is me. If you want to contact me, I'm also in DACDB for those who use DACDB, with more phone numbers and a different email address. But so I'm going to stop the share. And
Cynthia, can I add something?
Of course. I'm going to unmute everybody. Oh, wait, that just said mute all. Feel free to unmute yourself and let's go ahead and have a conversation. And Val, please give us your expertise.
Well, so just one of the things, first of all, great presentation. Nice work. You added a lot of awesome stuff out there that everyone should know. One of the things I wanted to touch on a little bit is, you know, my area of expertise, if you will, is messaging, right? So how do you connect with the right people? What is it that you say? So one of the things with Facebook, and really any communication you do, is to think about who is it intended for. So I think this is actually a really great example. So the district's Facebook page is, as Cynthia mentioned, is there to assist you in your individual clubs and giving you content and sharing what's happening throughout the district. So it's there to inspire, to keep you connected, to highlight and shine successes, give ideas, that sort of thing. From a club level, you have a choice. You can look at, am I here to use Facebook to connect with our club members? Or am I here to connect with the community at large and introduce them to what Rotary is about, and perhaps use it as a recruiting tool and or a retention tool? So as you're thinking about that for your individual club, if it is to include or to bring awareness to your club and Rotary in general to the community, that dictates the type of posts and the angle at which you're going to present your post, right? So for instance, if you're going to do an event, creating an event on Facebook is great because you can open it up, you can invite it, you can encourage all of your club members to then go, your fellow Rotarians, to go out and share it with their audiences, but then it also opens it up to the public. If you're going to be taking a snapshot of something you're doing, a service project or something at work, and you want to post that out there, the text that goes with it is going to be geared towards the community, not speaking to an echo chamber. So I think that's something that we need to really think about, and it is an outstanding tool. And Cynthia did a wonderful job of pointing out like the benefits of boosting something. So once you get it out there, you can set who your target audience is. So when we do something on our local Facebook, our club Facebook page, we'll set it out to a target range of, we're in a smaller community up in Chico, so we can set it up just to like the center of where we're at 25 miles out. And we're going to get just about anybody in our general area. And so it'll be fed to them so they can see the events, like when we just did Centennial Park. So when we did events out there, or when we had a fundraiser or any other service project that we did, we wanted to share that out with the community so they could see the work that Rotary does. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that, and I think that's something that oftentimes gets overlooked is who is your Facebook page intended for? Who is your audience? And once you have audience, write that down. And what is it that they'd be interested in seeing and learning about? And what is your goal with it? Is it to just bring awareness? Is it, I think right now we know membership is huge. We just left membership month. We're still always going to be looking at recruiting for new members as well as retention. So how can you use that, and how would you position your post for that? Sorry, that was much longer than I thought it would be.
Val, what kinds of responses has that generated that you can quantify somehow?
What type of responses?
Right. Have you seen, has that drawn members? Has that drawn participation in the events? Or is there any way to know?
There is, because we can look at engagement, and we can look at, like, especially with post shares, you can start to dive in and see like who is sharing it, right? Typically, you're not going to get some random community member to go out and share a Rotary post. They might, but typically not. But what we can see is we do have a pretty consistent, really proud of the club, a pretty consistent new membership, like where our club is growing. Like everyone, we shrunk a bit after COVID. So we're working hard and are seeing success in doing that. Our social media team is really active and really good. It's chaired by a person that's a social media. That's what she does for a living. So she's really good at it. But it is to do exactly that, Wayne, is to get it out to the community. So I guess I'm not doing a good job of answering your question. I can tell you that I know people are seeing our posts and they're commenting on them and they're sharing them. Can I say that it is a direct correlation to that? No, but that's a part of that awareness marketing that's really hard to quantify. But the more people hear and the more impressions you have, the more likely they are to want to engage.
Sure. Right.
And yeah. Wayne, for looking at event activity, we have a brew bash every year. And even during COVID, we had brew bash in a box where people could drive up and they'd pop their trunk and we'd put the case of beer, of craft beers in their trunk. And what we find is it's damn near all community engagement, and it's not about Rotarians. And they are tagging their friends saying, hey, it's happening again this year. Are we going to go? So we
That's
see
amazing.
a lot of that. And then we also see ticket sales because we use Eventbrite, and in the event post, you could actually put your ticket link in the event. and we can track the number of people who click through, and we could track the sales of the tickets. And we know that these folks are non-Rotarians, and we see the click-throughs. When you do an ad, you can pay like per click and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So you could actually have analytics behind it. And we'll often see like our Rotarians sharing something with a friend saying, you should come to this, like a club event, like we're having an Indian night with food and dancing and music and all of that, hosted by one of our Indian members, and hey, come with me. So I mean, we could see that kind of interaction. But if you do an ad, or if you do an event where you're doing ticket sales, you could definitely track the effectiveness of what you're doing. So there are metrics behind it. I think Facebook metrics are pretty good. Instagram metrics are catching up to Facebook metrics, because they want you to spend money. They want you to treat it as a business. And if you're going to make a business decision, you need data. And so they're getting better at providing with the data you need to feel comfortable putting your money into the system. And we know all you guys have Facebook pages, your clubs do. And it's our goal as a district to recognize your clubs and share your stuff. I don't know, have you guys been on the district page? Vera, you better have been on the district page.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask that if you guys, like right now, if you have your phone handy, if you would open up your Facebook app, and in the little magnifying glass, if you would type in the numbers 5160, and then we should pop right up at the top. You might see Rotaract 5160, but select the district page and like the district page.
It says like.
And then also like the Rotaract page as well while you're there. And you could do it as yourself, or if you are the social media person for your club, you could do it as a club. And I also want you to notice something that the district is doing, which is welcoming every single new member. And if you guys know about this and you get a new member, when the district is notified that you have a new member, Carol Landry, who is the chief of staff for the district, she immediately does a post recognizing that new member. So if you know this is happening, you could actually share this to your club Facebook page, where you could tag your person and let them know that they're being recognized across the district as having joined Rotary, and their name in your club is listed there. So there's a lot going on our page. Like soon, Vera, we need to put something about World Polio Day coming up in October, so we can get people ready to respond to it. If you want to do an activity or event, you need a minute to plan something. So there's going to be a lot of resources there. We put up educational stuff about the Rotary Foundation, about marketing your Rotary Club, district level events, how-tos. We do the list, the top 5, whatever. So there's a lot of stuff to support you guys in your social media efforts on the district page. And we are very active. There's at least 1 post a day, and there's been as many as like 4. So there's a lot of good stuff there for you guys to make your life easier, because I think the hardest part about social media is creating content.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Are there any other questions or comments? Are you, are you guys your social media people for your clubs?
Yes.
Okay.
So I have a question, a quick question. I used to be able to switch back and forth between myself and the pages that I manage pretty quickly. I am struggling with that right now. I don't know if it's changed, but so I know for the district, I've liked it personally, and I'm looking at it as my page, and I'm trying to figure out where that little, used to just be a little menu that dropped down, because I also manage the page for work, so I have two.
Now, I have noticed that as well.
Yeah, me too. They do not make using their platform easy at times. It's frustrating.
Okay. Well, it's not just me. That's good.
What I usually do is I switch to my desktop if I should say laptop. I have a laptop at home. I switch to my laptop and you have more functionality there. And it's easier to see where you can transfer that. It's kind of at the top right on your laptop or desktop. But there's a lot of times where I'm like, ugh, I'm on my phone and it's just not doing what I want it to do. And then I'll note to self, do it when I get home. And then I'll go ahead and do it. Like, trying to think what.
Because I'm looking at it right now and I just can't.
Suzanne has been having a lot of the same issues too.
Oh,
she's really frustrated.
Okay, good. So I'll just keep working on it then. I'm sorry, I didn't mean good that she's frustrated. Just good that I'm just not losing my mind. Okay.
No, things will change on occasion. I'm like, and Facebook is about to change again, you guys. I was just reading an article that it's about to change. There's going to be, instead of like your feed, there's going to be two. There's going to be like your page and then everyone else's content that you tend to follow, to separate it out, because people are like, where's my stuff? So I'm not sure when that's going to happen, but I literally just read an article earlier this week that said it's about to change again. So get ready for your Facebook feeds to change, but they're going to split it where it's everyone else's stuff and your stuff.
Awesome. Just make it more confusing. One of the things too to think about, you showed a slide how with the district page too, we don't have a lot of younger people on our page. I think it's important to note that a lot of younger folks don't use Facebook anymore. Very few of them do. They're mostly over on Instagram. The great news is you can connect Facebook to Instagram really easily because they're the same company. Meta owns both of them. So that is one thing, and you can set it up to where when you post to one, it feeds to the other. So that is a great way to kind of maximize your efforts, if you will. And while Instagram's definitely image and photo heavy, there are tips and tricks. And, there's social media today. There's so many awesome resources out there. If you just simply Google, how to use Instagram or how to use Facebook or Facebook strategies, you can get oodles and oodles and oodles of free information. You don't have to pay for stuff. There's lots of people who sell courses. I would say consume all the free stuff first. And then if you feel so inclined, you can go sign up for a course. But you can learn a lot from tips and tricks on that. But that's one way to engage young people. And I can tell you, even in the agency world, some of us, it's like, I'm still TikTok hesitant. You want to talk about a lot of, and mostly because our clients don't really have we don't have a lot of our audience on TikTok. That being said, it's also, I don't know about any of you, but I do love to consume it. I'm not a big fan of producing it. So there are a lot of us lurkers out there. TikTok's awesome. It is if you want to get out ahead, and if you have somebody who's creative or a younger member that's eager to do something, producing that super short content is really awesome and is a great way to get the word out too via TikTok. So you just got to be it's a little bit more intense. We're working on how to do it, not making it such an intense effort. So if anyone has any tips, I want to hear them.
And what Val was saying, how you could post on both Facebook and Instagram at the same time. We do that two different ways. We use the Facebook Meta Business Suite, where we can calendar and post simultaneously, and it will reformat your Facebook post into an Instagram post because it is a different size picture, but it'll take your same content and put it in both locations. So you can create an Instagram account tied to your Facebook account, and the same post goes to both places and hopefully talks to two different people. Because our Instagram account isn't old enough yet, we're not getting those metrics, but we will soon. And I'm really super curious, as Val said, to see how the demographic is different. But we also use Canva to do the same thing. And I have a presentation I'm doing next week. I can't remember. I think maybe it's on Wednesday at 7 or 8 p.m. I can't remember. But we use Canva to do the same thing. We create the post in Facebook, and then Canva has a button that says resize for Instagram. Boom. And then suddenly it's resized for Instagram. And then I go to the Canva planner calendar and I put them both to land at the same time on the same day. So I have two posts of the same content with the same text, the same hashtags, and they post through Canva. And I do that when I create the art on Canva, but I use the Meta Suite if I'm just uploading a picture, because I want to see the different kinds of analytics. But those are two different ways to post to Facebook and Instagram with the same content, which saves you time. It's not like, oh my God, now I have to create Instagram content as well as Facebook content. That's too much. You know, none of us are full-time social media employees of our club and district. It's too much. So these are the types of things that you could do to save yourself some time. So hopefully I could see you guys over on, I think it's Wednesday. For the
I think it's when, yeah. And I want to encourage, I want to encourage you guys to, if you're not using Canva, please attend Cynthia's class on that. First of all, she's a whiz at it, and it's so easy. And I can tell you, we use it professionally too for creating social posts, because their social posts are fleeting. So you want something that's quick and easy, right? I don't have to use a top designer to create something. And they have such easy templates. I've watched, like it was one of our part-timers who now have full-time. I've watched her skills because she uses Canva, and they're pretty amazing. And the stuff she's producing off of it is fantastic. And she is not a designer. And so they make it really easy to do. They have that scheduling tool. It's inexpensive and or free if you can get that free nonprofit account. So anyway, I'm just going to be here just parroting Cynthia and saying it is one of, I think, Rotary's club's best resources. Businesses' best resources is Canva to go out there and learn how to do it, because they make it like just really easy for non-designers like me to get in and create something that looks pretty awesome.
And when we started with the free account, and then I went online and found out for $120 a year, you can get 5 people on the account. And then you get the pro version where you get all the better graphics, photographs, images, videos, free. Well, not free, $120, damn near free.
Yeah.
And so the district paid $120, and there's 5 of us. Vera's on it, I'm on it, a couple other people are on it, where we could create this. And frankly, I've even used it for work. But I created a video on there. You guys, I am not a video editor, but I put sound effects, I put music. And all you do is you take your video clip. Let's say there's 3 clips and you want to make one video. I uploaded the clip and I physically moved like this little, they turned it into like a little physical thing that you could move. I squished the edges because there was crap on each side. And then you pick music, which is also a physical thing you pick up, and you put it where you want it to start. And then you can have it fade in and out. And you just, it's a checkbox. I want it to fade in. I want it to fade out. I felt like Steven Spielberg, you guys. I made a movie. And it was so intuitive and so easy. It blew my mind. And like I said, it's free for you to try out. But if you want the jumped up fancy version and you want to bring friends on, it's $120 a year. You can make posters, banners, and order it from Canva, invitations, video, social media posts. You could do a mug. You want to design something for a mug? All of that. So worth it. And is it Tweak? Is that how you pronounce it? I just saw your chat. Sorry, I'm just going through the chat now. And I'm so excited to read that you have used some of our content and shared it with your club and weekly meetings. I appreciate that.
Yes, I just copy and paste, right click and throw it into the PowerPoint. Yeah.
And
that's great.
That's exactly why we created it. So you're using it exactly as we intended. So thank you for that. I'm going through the comments now. Okay, video and a reel. So Colette, a reel is like 30 to 60 seconds, depending on what platform you're on. I think sometimes they can be longer now. It's shot on your phone in a portrait style setting, and it's just like a different animal. A video you could shoot in landscape. A video you could put on a YouTube channel and link it, or you could upload a native video, but it lives in a different spot. So you might notice on Facebook, there's that whole section of reels. You can see like panels of videos. And as Facebook and Instagram try to become more like TikTok, which is now a behemoth, they are encouraging you to do those reels. And there are filters you could use. You could add music. You could stitch together different videos. I did a reel just to practice. I love watching them. I watch them all the time. But like Val said, being a lurker, watching them, enjoying them is one thing, but taking that step. And what I want to do a viral campaign, which is advice from a Rotarian. And I want it to be like, hi, I'm Cynthia Garcia. I'm with the Fairfield Suisun Rotary Club, and this is advice from a Rotarian. Who you know really is important. So you should join a Rotary Club because it's full of business and civic leaders, and it'll help your career. It'll raise your profile. You'll get exposure, all at the same time you're doing fabulous community service. Well, this is advice from a Rotarian. Have a great day. Because we are leaders, right? We are experienced, seasoned professionals, and we could give advice to young people. You could do a reel based on that. What advice?
You could also take that another angle with the advice. And so of course you have that professional advice, or you could have like what I might say is, when you're at lunch and you have a 2 o'clock meeting, don't eat the gravy because you're just not going to be at your 2 o'clock meeting at your best. Don't eat the gravy. That would be my advice, but hey.
No, that is awesome advice, right? I mean, no one tells you that. Don't
so
have
you can have fun with it. Yeah, exactly. You can have fun with it. So that could be a really fun campaign where you have that, like the serious, the really great stuff about the leadership, then you can just have the fun stuff too. So you got to mix it in. We're all human, right? So those are the great things about the reels and TikToks, is just having their short, fleeting, quick moments. They're typically super funny. Some people they're highly produced. Most of it's raw and organic, which is what makes it the best and authentic. And, people just aren't used to doing that. We're used to having like production for video. So we're all looking our best and everything is staged and edited. And with reels and TikToks, while some people do it, really they're designed to just be in the moment as you are, which is what people love.
Yeah. And, I'm looking forward to trying, because I'm like, I could totally be a TikTok and reel celebrity.
Yeah. Oh God, yes, you could.
And the funny thing is, it's totally monetized. Someone that I was watching, actually she's on Instagram, she does everything, but a video, because I watched her, a video popped up and it says, how much does this lady make? And they were estimating just on her YouTube channel alone, she makes $20,000 a month. Wow. And you know what? I watched this lady, I watch her garden. I watch her do meal prep. I watch her clean out her pantry. I mean, what the hell, you guys? But I'm like addicted to this kind of stuff, and I contribute my viewing so that she could make $20,000 a month just on YouTube. And that doesn't even include the recipes she puts on Instagram and, you know, the other kind of stuff. So this is like a very democratizing way of becoming wealthy for a person who's literally just got a good personality. And it's a great way for your club leaders or your club PR person to build a relationship with the community just by being likable and clever and, you know, producing content that provides value to an audience. So we can do it, you guys. Let's, you know, we should like set a clock, and in 6 months, we should do a bunch of reels, and then we can come back and share them. I want you guys to do an advice one, whether it's, you know, my high-end professional advice to young professionals or Val's tongue-in-cheek, but still really real advice. It's real, you know, with young people, because you might have, don't order the most expensive thing on the menu when, you know, you're taken out for lunch by a prospective employer. Don't get the lobster. Get the third most expensive thing on the menu.
Exactly.
Real advice from Rotarians. Keeping it real with Rotarians.
Keeping it real. I love it. Well, nice work, Cynthia.
Well, thank you. And I know you guys probably want to move on to your next session.
Thank you.
I appreciate your being here and the questions. So I'm going to end this presentation, and I'll see you guys later.